Going. So you've found someone who wants to either buy or sell a house, and I'm going to show you what you need to do in Command to go from hello to writing a contract and getting everything set up in DotLoop. So first things first, we're going to go to agent.kw.com, and you're going to come to this login page, and then you're going to put in the same credentials as your MyKW. So we're going to go ahead and log in real quick while that's loading. So you've met someone at Starbucks or what have you, and they've raised their hand. They said they want to buy a home or sell their home. And so now you have to go through the process of getting everything started into Command so that when it comes time to upload your documents for compliance, everything is smooth and easy. So first things first, we need to add a contact in Command. You will not be able to move any further as far as creating an opportunity or accessing DotLoop documents without adding that contact first. So on the left-hand side, if you click the KW, I'm familiar with the icons, but if you're not already, click that and it will show you what each of these stands for. So first things first, we're going to go into contacts. All right. And then we want to make sure we add a contact. So we're going to go right over here to the right-hand side. We're going to hit add a contact. And we're going to add their full name. So we'll say Annie Agent in this case. All right. And then we want to have their email. So I will add, see if this works. So, you know, we'll just do Annie Agent at email. A phone number, we want to make sure you put that in there. And these are the basic things that you're going to want to have because it's going to feed this throughout the entire process so that you can eliminate double entry on a lot of things. So we're going to hit create. All right, so you've added them into your database. They'll show up right there. And now, like we said, they've raised their hand and they want to buy or sell a home. So we need to get that situated. For this video, I'll go ahead and create it as if they're getting a listing. So let's click that and we're going to go down here to opportunities. Okay, and there's actually two fields of view. You can see your listings, your buyers, and your leases. And then if you want, you can go to all opportunities and you can see it in a list form as well. So we're going to go back to me though, and we're going to go over here to the right and we're going to hit create opportunity. Okay, it's going to pull over the market center name. You're going to choose the listing type. For this one, we're going to use listing. Sorry, not listing type, opportunity type. We're going to choose a listing. We're going to choose a client. So remember, we had to add a contact first. So if I put Jake Skiles, for example, I do not have Jake in my database, so this will be your first hard stop. If you get to here and your client's not in there, this is your first telltale sign that you need to go back and add them as a contact. But for this example, remember we added Annie Agent. There she is. We're going to select that. Opportunity name, just like in the past, and if you're a new agent, no worries. We're going to change the opportunity name to the address of the listing. If you are working with a buyer who doesn't have an address that you're writing for yet, no worries. Go ahead and keep it as it automatically updates with buyer and the last name until you find a house that you go under contract with, in which case then you'll want to come in here, change the opportunity name to the address. But for this one, we'll do 123 Main Street. Okay. And then you come down here to the bottom, you'll see estimated listing price. You want to put that in there. If the listing price changes when you go under contract, for example, let's just say it's a $300 estimated listing and you end up going under contract for $295. You're going to want to come in here and change that. And we'll go into detail on some of these other things in a future video. But for this one, let's just say $250,000. Commission rates, usually 3%. Obviously, you can change that on a case-by-case basis. And then you'll have phases and stages here. So for this one, we'll say we have an active listing and we are showing. Perfect. All right, we're going to hit create opportunity. And then we're going to come to the main page. Now, when you get to here, these pencils are where you're going to be able to edit the boxes below. So if you need to come in here and change the estimated listing price or your commission rate, you're going to want to do that so that it reflects accurate numbers. And then you'll see there's some extra dates that you can track and whatnot. The most important thing is that your opportunity name is correct. and that you have these numbers on here so that you can see some accurate information. And then on the right here, this is very important for the MCA office. They really need you to put a property address in here, whether you're listing, and then when you go under contract for a buyer, okay? All right, but now, so we've added a contact, we've created the opportunity, and we have an appointment in a couple days, and we need to get documents ready for that appointment. So we're gonna come right over here to documents, okay? And this is gonna be your compliance landing zone. This is not a place where you access documents like within here. You can't click on this. You can't see the documents in here. This is only for once you go under contract. You're going to want to take those things from DotLoop, and I'll show you here in a second, and pull those completed documents over so that Audit Amy can audit your file. Okay, but we're going to go over here. We're going to hit start a transaction. If you have the arrow, great. You'll have DocuSign and DotLoop. If you only have one, it should only have start a transaction. In this case, we're still using DotLoop because the Tennessee Association of Realtors and DocuSign have not come to an agreement. So for now, the office is continuing to pay for DotLoop so that everybody's businesses can continue to move forward. So we're going to hit DotLoop here, and then we're going to scroll down. As you can see, there are options here. If you're familiar with DotLoop at all, you'll recognize this screen. It's very similar to when you logged into DotLoop the old-fashioned way and hit add a loop. It asks you the same questions. For this example, we're going to hit listing, and we're going to choose the DotLoop template. All right, and then this start a transaction button is actually going to change to these two buttons, sync transaction and go to transaction. Basically, the sync transaction is if you're doing something and pulling stuff over and for some reason you're not seeing it, this should be your first troubleshooting icon. Sync it, hit yes, try again. If that doesn't work, let me know. I'm happy to help you. But in this situation, we're ready to go get documents, so we're going to hit go to transaction. And it's going to take us over to dotloop.com, just like the old-fashioned way. The difference is we really need you to start the transaction here because this action is what's going to allow you to pull documents over through this feature very efficiently, okay? So on your first time, and if you haven't been on your computer for a while, I might make you sign in again. It's the same DotLoop credentials that you've been using. If you don't have your DotLoop set up, if you're a newer agent, no worries, let me know or Sarah in Agent Services know, and we'll get that taken care of. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And as you can see, it brings you to DotLoop. You get your documents all right here. This is where you're going to work. This is where you draft documents, where you'll open up your listing agreement or your buyer's rep agreement or your purchase and sale and contract, and you're going to fill all this stuff out as best you can. You'll notice some of these things have been pulled over so that we don't have to do it again, that double entry feature, right? So you're going to fill all this out. You're going to go through, share it, sign it, print it, however you choose to do it, whether or not you're an individual agent, you're on a team. If you're on a team, your admin can definitely help you with this process. Okay, so you're going to fill all that fun stuff out, get that listing, get that buyer's rep, go under contract. And then what's going to happen is when you're ready to submit contracts and documents for review, you're going to come back to command. You're going to log in, get back to your opportunity page. And as you'll notice, you have a listed folder, an under contract folder, and a closed folder. And these are the folders that you're going to upload those documents as they pertain to that folder. So for example, in the listed folder, you're going to upload a copy of your listing agreement. You're simply going to hit add a file. You're going to select DotLoop. It's going to show you all the documents that are over here in your loop in a list form. You can simply search for it. It's probably the easiest way. And then hit the document that you need to upload, hit assign, and there it is. So then when you're ready to submit it to the Market Center, you just go ahead and click Submit to Market Center, and then Audit Amy will be able to see that, and she'll go through it. The reason this is important, and you might think, that's an extra step and whatnot, think of this as an interactive checklist to make sure that you have everything that you need for your contract. Historically, you could come in here, hit submit for review, and Audit Amy has to go through every single document and whatnot to check to see if your documents are ready. This is going to expedite that process and make it a lot quicker and more efficient and reduce the audit time. So you want to make sure you do this. This is not to make your lives more difficult. This is to make it more clean and efficient. Under contract, same concept, add a file, pull it over, submit to Market Center for review. When your file has been audited, over here where you see it says open, once you submit, it'll say submitted. If it gets approved, you'll see a green check mark and it will say approved. If it gets returned, it'll be a red X and it will say returned. Usually, if there's something returned in there, you would just check over here, check this line right here, and it will tell you if it's approved or rejected, and there'll be a little bubble as to what's wrong with it. Now, if you have a returned folder, but there's nothing in here that's returned, you're going to want to look for a message, because not usually, if the folder is returned, but there's nothing in here, it's usually because you're missing a document completely. Probably unintentional. As you can see, there's a lot of documents that can be very simple to get lost in it, especially if you're going back and forth with another agent and you have different copies of it and some things aren't fully executed. It gets to be a lot. This is going to clean that up, make sure all your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted, and your contracts are present. Then as soon as that's approved, you'll be good to go. Everything will continue along the process, and then you'll just keep doing this over and over for all the contracts that you do. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Don't hesitate. You can call, text, or email me, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. All right. Talk to you later. Good luck.